is this so loud? Okay, Audacity, what are you doing? Why is there... Okay, story time. This whole video is a story time, by the way. You're gonna be in here for a long haul. I mean, you already clicked on this video, so you already know what you're signing yourself up for, but pretty much the context to what I'm confused about right now. Ever since like 2014, YouTube, I've been using Audacity to record my commentaries. I use the same application, and I've only updated it since like, I think 2020, 2021. I haven't used anything new, and that's kind of a common theme with me. I don't really like to update because it scares me with what they screw up with it. That's why I don't really force OBS updates. And same thing with like the ring lights and the video camera. I haven't updated anything because truthfully, I'm very scared of trying to figure it out and screwing it up, so I just kind of stick with what I know. But unfortunately for me, right before this video, Audacity forced an application update, so I had no choice but to update the app and use whatever new finagled version of it there is now. I'm a bit worried that this video might not happen, but oh well, I might just say fuck it and upload it, because truthfully, I haven't done a fun video like this in a while. And it's not to say I don't have fun with recording YouTube videos or doing what I do, but truthfully, it takes a lot of work for me to even do some of the ones that I do, because I have like fully fledged scripts, and usually the recordings for some reason take 2 hours for me to do, even though the video itself is like 12 minutes. Pretty much today, I want to talk about change. I want to talk about some epiphanies or realizations that I've had in the past 4 months that I have been sort of reflecting and taking care of myself just to figure out what it is I want to do next. What is the big, ambitious project and thing that I want to take on? Because truthfully, I haven't had something like that in a good long while. And it's not to say I don't love what I do, which for the record, I do this full time, furry YouTuber. Yeah, I mean, I can't help but laugh at that too. That's kind of funny to some extent. But like, in all seriousness, I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I'm in. The fact that I can even say that this is my job. I'm immensely grateful and blessed for this. As someone who's wanted to do this for years now, ever since they were a kid. I remember picking up a $10 microphone from Best Buy and the Elgato, not even Elgato, the Roxio capture card for 50 bucks that recorded in 480p at the best and didn't even show the preview of the game on the screen. So I had to use it to play it on the fucking little laptop that I had. And I recorded those, did commentaries over that back when I was 13, 14. It was a good time. I wanted to be known for the longest time with doing YouTube as a storyteller, as someone whose voice is soothing or relaxing, something that you want to put on in the back and just listen to, regardless of whatever the hell he looks like. Because truthfully, I've never, and I probably won't, have confidence for how I look. I just kind of base it off of, okay, I like how I sound, not to sound narcissistic, obviously, but I like how I sound. I want my voice to be heard in the sense that people enjoy what I have to say and want to listen. When I started doing YouTube, I wanted to take the approach of being kind of like that guy that tells stories by the campfire, whether that's literally or figuratively. That's why I focused for however many years now on commentary. I started with gameplay commentary, Call of Duty, pub stomping commentary, edgy rant Fursona commentary, furry commentary, and here we are doing a video where I'm just talking. There is no visual entertainment value. There's no Subway Surfers in the corner. There's whatever the hell is going on in the back and the whole haha fursuit thing that you enjoy that I do, but that's about it. I've been taking a lot of feedback recently. I've been asking for feedback and taking it, and one thing that I've heard from you guys is that you really enjoy just listening to me. So I decided today I want this video to just be me yapping for hours on end about sort of this realization that I've had about what I want to do or about myself and how I'm kind of embracing change quite literally. And I kind of have to go a little bit back to explain why I haven't. This is just beta being as unfiltered and open, and I probably shouldn't be open about some of this, but I'm going to be. I've realized I've been stagnating. I realized I haven't been challenging myself to grow and improve as a person, to challenge my thought process, to challenge my ideals, to challenge how I think. And I haven't really been putting myself in situations where I am growing, whether it's socially, whether it's spiritually, whether it's just trying something new to figure out what it is that I want to do further. Because the only plan for me has just been, oh, keep making YouTube videos, because that's what I love doing. It's my hobby, put into my job or my career, and that's pretty cool. But burnout can happen, and I'm not at the point where burnout is happening, but I am starting to question what it is that I want to achieve or what it is that I want to do on here, or who I want to be known as. I've realized that I haven't been embracing change for however long now, and only recently have I really been doing it, and it's been good. And I'm really looking forward to the change that inevitably will happen in my life, with things to come, with what I'm doing, with what I want to achieve, but also just embracing it, looking at it optimistically, and really grabbing it by the fucking balls and being like, come here, we're doing this together. I can't wait for that to be taken out of context. This is sort of the story that I have for the day. And I told this on stream a little bit ago, so if you've probably heard this before, you probably have heard this before, but I have been doing small changes, adding some new things to my routine to switch some things up a bit to see how I like them. Whether that's starting a new hobby, starting some new thing, giving myself a goal to do each day, to force myself to do something that I've been putting off for so long. One of the big things that I realized that I have an issue with doing is watching TV series and episodes and movies by myself. Usually I wait to watch whatever the new show is that everyone is talking about, like Severance. I haven't seen Severance yet. I've heard amazing things about it, and I'm like, oh, I'll wait for it till, like, you know, a friend wants to watch it and we'll have like a movie night sort of thing, or an episode night. And then like maybe we have one or two and then I never watch it again, and they go on to watch the rest of it. It's kind of expected or presumed that I would watch it on my own end, and I don't do that. I don't know why I've had this issue of doing it, but usually I like sharing in memories of watching movies and shows with friends. And I realized there's been a backlog of shit that I want to watch and haven't watched that all my friends have, because I'm just waiting until someone else wants to watch it with me. And as of this last February, I made a sort of New Year's resolution where every night, instead of watching some random YouTube video or scrolling TikTok or Twitter, I take like 20 minutes to 30 minutes a night to watch one episode of an anime or series that I've wanted to. For the longest time, I have wanted to see what the fuss is about with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I have not seen that series at all up until this last February. I'm sure I probably saw some like scenes here and there of like top 10 anime scenes of this week, and then see it in like a random passing video. I'm like, oh, that's neat, and then I forget about it. So Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I started in February, and I've been watching it pretty much one episode every night ever since. Currently, it's about like mid-April, so I've been watching a lot more than just one episode a night, and I'm about 5 episodes till the end of the series. I think I'm like episode 60 in, and it is so fucking good. Oh my god. I'm kind of really annoyed at myself that I didn't start any of this sooner. And I'm starting to see like a lot of the symbolism and representation of it with like what humanity means versus like the homunculus and all that. It's been really good to see that and reflect on that. And something that I picked up along with that as sort of an additional change to just try something different is I've started journaling recently. I picked up a random composition notebook from Walmart for like $3 tops, and I've started just using this as like a personal diary. I've realized I've fallen into a very unhealthy cycle of if I have a feeling or something that I want to share or get out there, I tweet it, and that is not necessarily good. So I'm trying to do this change where I want to spend a little bit less time on social media and a little bit less time in front of a PC and a monitor and on my desktop, and I want to just start writing. It gives me something a lot more easier to catalog my feelings and make my emotions and thoughts more tangible, rather than throwing them in like a Google Doc or something for me to check out later for like my thoughts or feelings or ideas that I have, and making it actually something that I write down. And honestly, it's been a really good change. I've been very good about it, and it's helped me kind of figure myself out a lot more. So if you're looking for a little bit of a change, you know, just get like a little journal or a diary or something. Some of y'all, I'm just gonna say this for those on social media, some of you need a burn book. This does have some names and people in here that I'm just like, ooh, I don't like you, and then I just write it down in here, and then no one else has to see it. I'm like, oh, I feel better because I got it out there, and then I can go back and like read it again and see what my feelings and emotions are like in that moment, and just try to help myself understand, like, why am I feeling this way, and trying to reflect on it more feasibly rather than looking at a computer screen usually. This little bit of journaling has nothing to do with the rest of the story, but I just thought I'd mention it for a little change that I'm picking up. But Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I've been loving the series. It just got to the point where everyone kind of went on their own little training arc, time skip sort of thing. They all went into separate groups, they separated a little bit, and they're all kind of coming back together, or slowly getting back together for like the big event, the big climactic thing that everyone is like, what's gonna happen with it? I'm being very vague vague because I don't want to give spoilers for those that want to enjoy the series like I have, but if you've seen the series, you know what I'm talking about very likely. The episode that I literally just watched from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I'm probably gonna start watching more of it after this recording, is taking me almost exactly back to the point where I was 11 years ago in my sophomore year of high school when I was watching through Soul Eater. For high school, I went to an all-guys private Catholic high school. My parents wanted me to go because they wanted me to have a good education that was separate from like the public school systems. And for my freshman year, I was really struggling with like making friends, with really getting into my own, growing into like a young man, even though obviously I was like 14 or something at the time. It got to my sophomore year where I was really hitting my lowest low. I was still going through school just fine, and I was just kind of surviving. And this was throughout like January to March of, I think, 2014. So yes, about 11 years ago at this point. And that's when a friend of mine told me about this anime he was watching. At the time, before I even got into anime, I thought, oh, anime is gay. Anime is just half-naked chicks fighting in subways with katanas. What could possibly be good about this? Yeah, so the first anime that I watched that really got me hooked on the genre entirely was Kill la Kill. Yeah. Look, I loved Kill la Kill. Oh my god. I can't tell my friends about this. They're gonna think I'm gay, and I can't look bad in front of my friends. Again, high school, 14-year-old me. But I loved Kill la Kill. Having that be like my first introduction was awesome because the animation style was great. I love Trigger Animation Studios. I think that's the name of it. I know it's Trigger something. It was my hyperfixation for a month. And I realized, wait a minute, there's more animes? This isn't just a one thing. And then I got into the journey of watching all the different animes that I did. I just kind of kept going down the rabbit hole of animes to watch, and then that's how I got into Digimon, believe it or not. That for me was kind of the start to even me becoming a furry to begin with, because I had this hyperfixation with like the Digimon. I'm like, oh, this whole thing of like having Digimon partners is like Pokemon, but it's not, but it's better to some extent. And then I had all these like Call of Duty pub stomping icons from like Volt Clan and Tap X with like Digimon in them. The whole like weird, like nerdy, edgy, cringy era of my life. And that's when I was starting to really come into my own. I was starting to kind of open up more and really enjoy these stories that I was watching. One that really stuck with me, and is the point of why I even reflected on all this to begin with. Back in March, I had started watching Soul Eater. God, I don't think there's going to be another series like Soul Eater again, if I'm being honest. That was kind of like lightning in a bottle to some extent. If you see anything that is from Soul Eater referenced anywhere else, you know where it's from. You know where it came from. And for me, I loved Soul Eater. It's what introduced me to J-rock music as well, with ending theme 4 in Soul Eater. That theme, they did Strength. Oh my god, I love that song so much. Strength by Abingdon Schoolboys. If you want to know one of my favorite go-to J-rock songs, that one is it. Back in March and April, I was going through watching Soul Eater on Netflix, and it got to a point where around mid-April, I could feel, in some sense of it, I could feel things changing. And I was really excited for this. This is the change that I was kind of looking for, but I didn't realize it. I had been going with the flow of what I'd been told, of what I knew, and I was finally kind of just coming into my own. And it felt really good. It felt so good. Around that time, 11 years ago, when I was watching Soul Eater, watching through the series, again, the story, it was at the point where everyone had kind of split up to do their own thing, their own little side quest for their personal story. They finally were about to get back together for like the big battle, the big climactic part. And that was around the same time that I am at 11 years ago when I had watched that. And so just finishing that episode that I had watched of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I am feeling immensely nostalgic. Not in the sense of wanting to go back and revisit it, because truthfully, I don't want to go back to high school. Have you seen Furry Twitter? But it's more in the sense of just understanding that feeling that I had of knowing that things were gonna be good with whatever new change was to come. That after a long dreary winter of me really struggling to be more social, to make more friends, to really come into who Ben was. And comparing it to now, it gave me such a strong sense of optimism. And that's what happened when I was in my sophomore year of high school. That summer, it was like one of the biggest, best changes of my life. And going into my junior year, I was like this whole new, fresh person. And I got that even said a lot of like, wow, Ben, you're much different than you were years ago. What happened? I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm doing pretty well for myself. And like, I'm starting to see that kind of happening again. I haven't really expanded my capabilities of what I can do as a YouTuber, as a creator. I haven't expanded my social anxieties to the extent of my social battery or being able to socialize or talk with people more. I haven't really tested that. I haven't pushed the boundaries, pushed my limits to some extent. We'll use that word. I haven't pushed my limits if you want to get all anime character-esque. And these little changes here and there, they don't have to be astronomical, but they just have to invoke some sort of new feeling. At least that's what it's been for me. Just kind of change something for the sake of experiencing something new and not going back into this stagnation that I've been in. And that's especially been the case too with content creation to some extent. I know I do a plethora of different videos, whether it's furry drama or whatever philosophical topic that I want to go over related to furries or some other review discussion thing that I want to have. I want to change that too. I want to obviously keep doing what I'm doing to the extent of talking and telling about my experiences, stories, feelings, and whatnot, but I don't know, I want to do something different with it. I don't know what kind of change is going to happen in the future. You know, I've got like Furry Week in Atlanta coming up, one of the biggest cons of the year, and truthfully I was a little anxious for it with being social and everything, but now I am so fucking pumped for it. I'm so excited, and I know it's going to be an amazing time. Even later this year, and I guess this is my unofficial announcement for it, I'm going to be going to Awustria, the furry convention of the country Austria. I was given the very biggest honor of being a guest of honor for that con. So Awustria 2025, I am the guest of honor for. I'm really excited. I've kind of taken that anxiety that I had earlier this year and turned it into something where I am so fucking excited for this new opportunity, for this new change, because I know I am going to come out of it a different and hopefully better and new person. I'm so excited for this con. I'm so excited to see what a furry convention is like outside of the US. I haven't experienced that ever. So I'm gonna get to try that now, and I'm really, really excited. Something that I was originally anxious about. This reflecting and having this new sense of optimism now has me like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's have this new thing. Let's go for it. Let's have a good time and see how this goes. And it's been good. I can see things really getting better, not just for me as a person, but even just as a creator too, with what I want to change and do, which we'll get onto that in just a moment. I know life is unexpected and things can change in that sense, but I haven't had this sense of optimism, this sense of ambition to want to try for the new thing that I really, really want to be proud about with doing for a while. Truthfully, with regards to change, I haven't embraced it for a bit, and this is, I'm being fully unfiltered honest here. This is something that I don't really talk about with anyone besides like friends. I would like to think that my peak with what I had been doing on YouTube, my highest peak that I reached was back in 2021, late 2021, after like COVID and lockdown had happened and conventions were starting again. I was really doing well as like a content creator. Granted, looking back at that point, the videos weren't that great, but I saw that strictly in like the performance and how I was like traveling and the friends and all the things that I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm doing great. And then obviously things fell off a little bit going into January and February. And then I started to spiral in that sense. Things were so good back then. How do I get back to that point? And it's like, you can't do that. You can't go back to how things used to be when time is going onward and life and things around you are changing. And so for me, for a good year or so in like 2022, I had been denying change. I had been rejecting it in hopes of getting back to how things used to be. And I'm sure you saw it with some of the interesting takes that I had, the anxiety levels that I had back then, some of the videos that I did. I remember I had a whole moment where I said that furry YouTube is boring. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking contributing to that too, okay? It's just, if I could go back and see my old self, I want to fucking backhand. I'm like, God damn it, stop being a jackass about it. Just create, do what you know how to do. Make something and put it out into the world and do what you are fucking proud to do and what makes you happy. And I have some ideas for what I want to do, some of which which I don't want to spoil. Ignore the train in the back, okay? I'm still talking. I'm having a good talk here, and I want to go back to my anime after this, okay? Now I'm on the part where I've been assessing content creation, and truthfully, I have been really thinking long and hard about what I want to do, and really considering what effect at the end of the day what I do does. I am a furry YouTuber. That is not something that I think is going to change, and I haven't really even found the next thing that I want to do even outside of the furry community as some other creative endeavor. What can I change within reason? And for me, the change that I think that I can do is what I cover and what I focus on entirely. And I know the elephant in the room is that I cover a lot of furry drama. I talk about the bickering and pettiness and high school cafeteria table fights that happen on social media. And the reason why I did that to begin with wasn't because of the views or money or engagement, but because I saw these topics and arguments happening like clockwork. Like literally there is a furry wheel of drama, for Christ's sake. It exists. And I kind of wanted to start talking about these topics that I had feelings about, and I thought I had a level-headed approach towards, that I went in with the goal at the end of the day of giving a good takeaway, covering it in the best manner that I can, trying not to make examples of people. Granted, here we are. We fucked up with that many times, and especially hoping to talk about it in a way that solves it, that gives a solution, or at least a level-headed approach so that we don't have this topic revolving as much as it does. Like puphoods, for example. I know I did the video on the puphood drama. I did that because I wanted to give some breakdown of it and hopefully not change people's minds, but figure out why we're bickering about it to begin with, or at least make someone think, maybe this isn't worth adding fuel to the fire on. And to some extent, maybe this was me yearning for the older days of like furry Twitter, because truthfully, furry Twitter pre-COVID, it was a lot better if I'm being entirely honest. And furry social media in general, I feel like was to some extent, but that also might be me yearning for the past, for things that have changed now. I just want to do the best that I can with the position that I'm in. And I realize I have a very, very lucky position that I'm not really making use of in the best way. I don't want to say I'm going to quit doing furry drama videos. There might be some topics, or I guess controversies, that I do want to discuss and go in depth on here, but it's not going to be like a weekly thing. I want to make what I'm proud to make. I know I'm just kind of rambling on and it doesn't really make much sense, but the bottom line is I want to change some things, and I think there's going to be a lot less drama because truthfully, it has affected me negatively. I know I try to put a spin on it that is positive, but exposing yourself to all the negativity is it's not good. It's not fun. So I'm minimizing a lot more of my social media usage for a bit. I'm going to be trying to do less drama videos, and the one thing that I want to do, I don't even know where to start with this. I want to start a podcast. I want to do some sort of podcast interview series where I talk with many different people in the furry community, from different backgrounds, from different sub-hobbies within the community, just to learn more about it. Whatever we're looking to talk about, shoot the shit on, that's what I want to do. Because one, I want to get better at talking with people. And the best way to do that is to keep talking with people. And two, I want to get better at doing interviews because I want to do more of that in the future. I want to talk to more people. I want to collaborate more. So I do have an idea for the name of the podcast. You're going to hate it, and it's still a placeholder. Don't know if I'm going to go with it because it may or may not be a bad call. But the name of the podcast that I had was the Popufur Podcast. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't have any other ideas for what I want to do with it. Besides, I wanted to feature furry members of the community and use it kind of as an opportunity, a platform to meet and talk with other people. I want to do that. I just don't know how to do a podcast. But let me know in the comments if the idea for the name of the podcast is good or not, or if I'm going to be cyberbullied beyond belief, or if this is just a bad decision that will only result in bad things. But regardless, whatever feedback you guys have, or critiques or criticisms, I'd love to hear it, whether it's about what I've talked about today with my experiences of embracing change, whether it's my past with YouTube, my feelings with YouTube now and what I want to change now, or just the podcast name. Whatever you guys have to say about it, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Things might be uncomfy, there obviously will be rough waters, but rough waters do shape seasoned sailors. I think that's the saying. I really need to do that. I've been wearing the life jacket for too long and being too buoyant, too comfortable with being buoyant. And so eventually, know, the world changes around you, and then it's like, oh shit, I forgot how to swim. So, you know, do a little bit of it. Maverick knows how to swim, and he wears a life jacket, and he looks good in it. So that works. But either way, this was just a random rambling session that I had about just this epiphany, this sense of optimism that I have with change happening in the future. I'm excited for things to come. I'm excited for some change. If you have any ideas on what you'd like to see me do potentially, I'd love to hear in the comments below. I'm just really excited. I can't wait to share it with my friends, for them to see the person that I'm going to grow into. I can't wait to share it with you guys, with the ideas that I'm probably going to have once I really make some of these big changes and put them into effect. I'm finally getting all my back burner projects off the back burner, and I'm doing them. I'm really excited. I want to do this podcast. And so if anyone has any insight on this, please let me know. The one thing that I'll ask for, if I could get some help from it, anyone who is an audio aficionado for like microphones, I need a better microphone than this Audio Technica 2020 from 2019, because I've been using the same thing for years. If anyone knows anything about lighting, because I look greasy as fuck, even though I showered before this video, and if anyone knows anything about video cameras on what I can get that would be a good quality, please let me know. I know I could probably do some research on it too, but any pointers, any recommendations is appreciated too. But either way, that's really all I have to share for this one. So on that note, thank you all for watching. You all know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below what you feel about this video, what you like. If you have any critiques or criticism, whatever you're feeling, tell me how your day is doing. The only other shameless self-promo that I have is that I'm really working on my Patreon. If you want to go and check that out and support me there, if you enjoy the videos here and want to see them early, you want to get some bonus perks, you want, I guess, Discord server access for the Discord server I have, feel free to check out my Patreon. The link will be in the description below. That's about going to do it for me. I'm going to go and watch one more episode of Fullmetal Alchemist, and I'm going to go to bed because I got to wake up early and get some eggs fucking Benedict. I'm so excited for that too. That's going to be fun. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Take care. Life stay jacket, or stay life jacket. Treat people like people, and that's about it. See you later, guys.